Mars is the fourth planet farthest from the Sun after Mercury, Venus and Earth, and the average distance between the Sun and Mars is about 228.53 million kilometers. And it is the second closest planet to the Earth after Venus, and is classified as one of the rocky planets. It is the seventh planet in terms of size and mass, as it is half the size of the planet Earth, and it is similar to the Earth in terms of having the 4 seasons during the year, and layers of ice cover its southern and northern poles. The name belongs to the Romans, as it was named after their god of war, because of their belief that its orange-red color resembles the color of blood. But the real reason for the color is rust resulting from iron oxides. Composition of Mars. Planet Mars consists of 3 layers: the crust, the curtain, and the core, and each layer consists of the following: 8. The crust consists of basalt rocks, as in the crust of the Earth and the Moon, and some parts of the crust in the northern half made of the planet is made of volcanic andesite rocks rich in silica, and its thickness ranges about 50 kilometers. 6. The curtain layer of Mars is similar to the layer found on planet Earth, as it consists mostly of peridotite, which contains silica. Topography of Mars. The surface of Mars can be divided into 3 regions, namely, 9. The southern highlands, the northern plains, which include the plains, and the curvatures of the crust. Polar regions. The planet Mars contains volcanoes, as is the case in the planets Earth and Venus, and one of the large famous landmarks on the planet is the Olympus Mons volcano, which is the largest volcano in the Solar System, with a height of about 25.75 kilometers above the surface of Mars, and thus it is the longest from Mount Everest 3 times. And the width of the base of Mount Olympus is about 602 kilometers. The slope of its sides is very small, and the summit of the volcano is so huge that it goes beyond the horizon. 3. And the volcanoes also contain a small number of craters, which means that they have erupted recently. That is the resulting Planet Earth's climate. Planet Earth's climate. Planet Earth's climate. Average temperatures are around -62 degrees Celsius, and the temperature in winter reaches about -126 degrees Celsius. And it reaches 21 degrees Celsius at midnight. 8. Mars' atmosphere is made up of carbon dioxide and carbon dioxide that circulate in the atmosphere, which is made up of 96% of the atmosphere. Seasons on Mars. The length of the day on Mars reaches 24.6 Earth hours, which is the time required for the rotation of Mars around its axis, and the day on Mars is called the solar day. And its axis of rotation is tilted at an angle of 25.2 degrees from the plane of the planet's rotation around the Sun, which is what causes the occurrence of the 4 seasons on the planet. When one of the 2 halves of the planet is tilted towards the Sun, it is the spring and summer, and the autumn or winter seasons are in the other half, and vice versa. And the 2 halves of the planet at 2 specific moments each year receive an equal amount of radiation, which is called the equinox. 3. The moon Phobos is called Phobos on behalf of the first Mars, and it is the closest moon to Mars, and 7 times larger than Deimos, because it rotates faster than the rotation of Mars itself, as its rotation period is only about 7 hours and 39 minutes. That is, the moon completes 2 revolutions on 1 Martian day, and it approaches Mars by 1 meter per century. This is due to the phenomenon of tides, which may lead to its collision with Mars within 50 million years, or it may shatter and become a planetary ring. The moon Phobos is called Phobos on behalf of the first Mars, and it is the closest moon to Mars, and 7 times larger than Deimos, because it rotates faster than the rotation of Mars itself, as its rotation period is only about 7 hours and 39 minutes. That is, the Moon completes 2 revolutions on one Martian day, and it approaches Mars by 1 meter per century. This is due to the phenomenon of tides, which may lead to its collision with Mars within 50 million years, or it may shatter and become a planetary ring. The Moon Demos is called by the name of Mars 2, and it is smaller and farther than the Moon Phobos, with a radius of about 6.2 kilometers, a non-spherical body, and has 3 axis dimensions, 15 by 12.2 by 11 kilometers, making its size equal to 0.56 the size of the Moon Phobos. It orbits around Mars within a period of about 30.3 hours. And is similar to Phobos in terms of spectra, albedo, and density, as it has a density similar to that of the presence of water on Mars, even though there is no liquid water on the surface of Mars, due to the coldness and thickness of the atmosphere. But there are indications that robots have found that show that liquid surface water existed billions of years ago, examples of which are the presence of canyons, dry lake bottoms, and river networks, and their presence means that the Martian atmosphere was in the past dense, and he was able to preserve the heat that would allow the water to remain in its liquid state and flow to the surface of the planet. In contrast, there are layers of ice under the planet's surface and under the polar ice caps, and if the ice melts, the water will cover the surface of the planet with a depth of 20 to 30 meters. 6.3. Space trips to Mars. The interest in discovering Mars began in the 1960s, when the United States, the European Union, Russia, and India sent many space missions to discover the planet and wander in it, as they sent robots to it more than any other planet, and about 45 missions have been launched since 1960 AD, but about 26 missions have failed, varying between some failing to leave the planet, others being burned on the way, some crashing on the surface of Mars, and part of them stopping on their way to the planet, and some of them failed to find and orbit the planet. 3. And among the first successful missions in reaching the Red Planet and flying around it is the Mariner 4 of NASA, which was launched in 1964.